Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this playoff volleyball broadcast brought to you here tonight by Mustang Media here on YouTube. I'm Jackson Miller. Joining me alongside again tonight up here in the bleachers where we call our, games in the gymnasium is Dan Wolf. Dan, we got some more playoff action for sports. We were coming off a really kind of a heartbreaking broadcast, when the football team lost to Century 2 weeks ago on Friday night, October 28th, and now we're back here with some more playoff action. This time it's volleyball, and we got the EDC quarterfinal round here tonight. Cheyenne's hosting West Fargo Horace, who defeated Valley City in a 5-set match in one of the play-in games.
Absolutely, and I think if you're Horace, you have to be probably pretty pleased and thrilled for your inaugural season. A team that boasts only a few juniors and everybody else is a sophomore or freshman. They even have an 8th grader on the squad. To play almost 500 throughout the regular season, playing some very good competition. Your first taste of playoff volleyball, to play a play-in game and come away and win a tight 5-set affair. I mean, this is kind of fairy tale dream sort of thing. But, of course, the script flips a little bit tonight. You're not playing Valley City. You're playing the team that's been 1 or 2 in the state the entire year, a team that's undefeated in conference play, a team that's only lost 2 times in the Sheyenne Mustangs. And so, for both teams, this is a situation. You can't win the EDC tournament tonight, but you can put a big dent in your hopes if you don't take care of business and kind of, I think, focus on what got you here. For both of these squads, certainly I'm sure there's added incentive when you're playing against a rival, a crosstown rival, and those sorts of things. But I think, for Cheyenne, probably more on the line to lose than for Horace. I think you just approach it like any other match. You don't get ahead of yourself. You play the same type of game. You have the same game plan that's gotten you to where you've been all year.
So as you take a look at the bracket here, we got Cheyenne taking on Horace here. The winner of this game will play the winner of the number 4 and 5 seed match, which is Fargo North and Fargo Davies. And then on the other side of the bracket, we got number 2 Fargo South taking on number 7 Shanley, and then number 3 West Fargo taking on number 6 Red River. These games are played at the site of the higher seed, and then the second round games will be played at West Fargo and the EDC Championship, along with the state qualifier games, which you see on the far left of the screen. And the winner of those, out of the 2 winners of these state qualifier games, the higher seed gets the number 3 seed in the state tournament, and then obviously the lower seed out of those 2 winners will get the number 4 seed in the state tournament. So yeah, like you said, Dan, if you lose this first game, it does put a big dent because you have to win your next 2 now to get into the state tournament. While you can, if you win your first game and lose your second, you still have a chance, and it's kind of that cross action with the losers of the semifinals playing the winners of the consolation semifinal games. And then obviously if you win your first 2, you're automatically in, and then you play for the EDC 1 seed in the EDC championship.
And we've seen this happen in basketball from time to time and in volleyball as well. If you drop this round's game and you have that crossover situation, now you maybe end up across from a team that maybe you struggled with throughout the year or something like that. So really, if you can stay in your lane at least for this round, I think you're in much better shape going into that semifinal and championship round. But when you lose in the quarterfinals and cross over, lots of funny things can happen, especially if another top team loses a game, and then suddenly you've got in a loser out elimination sort of situation, you get 2 of the top seeds that you might have expected to see in a championship game.
Well, certainly for West Fargo Cheyenne, they're just coming off an EDC regular season title. Like you said, Dan, they went undefeated in conference play, 22-0 to be exact. And, this is their best regular season that they've ever had, 29-2. The Mustangs have never done this, and they were undefeated for pretty much 3/4 of the season before they lost to Bismarck Century in that, Jamboree tournament up at Fargo North, and then they lost to Moorhead as well not too long ago. But really, only 2 losses through 31 games. That's certainly an impressive mark, and you have to top that. It'd be nice to top that off with an EDC tournament title as well.
It will. I think you need to keep kind of your eyes on the prize, so to speak, and not get too far ahead of yourself here, Jackson. But what really impressed me for this Mustang squad, I thought, was they had locked up this number 1 seed long before the end of the regular season. and they still had a big match last week in playing at West Fargo High. And West Fargo High had a lot to play for in terms of seeding. And Cheyenne went in there and took care of business. And as you pointed out in the broadcast, they've not played. I had to go to a 5-setter yet this year, winning 29 matches in either 3 or 4 sets. And, you know, even their losses have come in 3 or 4, but those have been so few. So I liked how Cheyenne was able to kind of still take care of business, wrap up that undefeated regular season, and walk into this tournament with loads of confidence.
Absolutely. Well, if you take a look at the keys to the game here, we'll talk about them for a little bit here, and then we'll get into the PA. We'll direct our attention down to the PA, but let's take a quick look here. For Cheyenne, I'd say don't let up. Don't take your opponent tonight here in West Fargo Horace for granted, and execute your game plan. Come in here, execute your game plan, take care of business, and take it one game at a time. Obviously, you can't just say that, oh, we're going to come in here and win the game, because look what happened a couple weeks ago in the football game. And now the number 8 seed Bismarck Century Patriots for football
Going to
playing
the Dakota Bowl, yeah.
And then for Horace, I'd say to beat the number 1 seed, you have to outwork them. That is just simply a fact that, you know, Herb Brooks told his guys, the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team, you have to outwork these guys if you're going to beat the Soviets. And then I'd say defend Cheyenne's outside hitters. You got to defend their attack.
Absolutely. I think Horace is one of those few teams that has a chance of somewhat matching up size-wise with the Mustangs. A lot of teams we've seen come in here and just give up so much height to the middle hitters, to those outside hitters. But Horace has some tall players, and I think if there's a team that maybe has a chance to do the things you talked about, it might be this Horace team.
We're going to direct our attention down to the PA for the national anthem and the starting lineup. So we'll be back here.
Sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We ask that you cheer for your team and be respectful of the opponent. As high school student athletes and representatives of their communities, the Mustangs and Hawks are committed to fair play, responsibility, and respect. They invite you to support their effort. Together, let us all help create an environment for high school competition that we can be proud of. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you stand if you're able, remove any headwear, and remain at attention as we honor America with the singing of our national anthem by members of the Sheyenne High School Concert Choir. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet tonight's non-starters. First for the visiting Horace Hawks. Number 1, Lauren Carrier. Number 6, Brianna Heilman. Number 8, Noelle Bartonek. Number 12, Shaylee O'Coon. Number 16, Reese Allmer. Number 18, Caitlin Grabowska. number 23, Jaden Hale, and number 24, Caitlin Pozel. And now let's meet the non-starters for your Sheyenne Mustangs. Number 3, Bella Detman. Number 5, Megan Johnson. Number 6, Alexa Killoran. Number 12, Brooke Johnson. Number 15, Callie Tungstep.
Yeah, they're all dead. I had 2 that died, and I was like, is it me? Did
Number
I something wrong?
22, Callie Dodds. And number 24, Peyton Saxland. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let us meet the starting lineups for the Horace Hawks. A sophomore, number 2, Alyssa Sommerfeld. A sophomore, number 3, Gabby Sturluson. A freshman, number 5, Lilia Donnelly. A freshman, number 7, Piper Speakermeyer. A junior, number 9, Ella Livingston. An 8th grader, number 14, Jordan Christopherson. And a freshman, number 15, Olivia Shook. Hawks head coach is Hadley Steffen. Assistant coaches are Kaylee Hanger, Claire Miller, and Evan Martell. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the starting lineup for your Sheyenne Mustangs. A junior, number 1, Mia Engel. A senior, number 2, Kennedy Coulter. A senior, number 4, Chloe Brown. A junior, number 7, Izzy Albrecht. A senior, number 8, Kaylee Warsdorf. A sophomore, number 11, Maya Boydo. And a senior, number 13, Reagan Bogenreed. Mustangs head coaches, Leah Newton. Assistant coaches are Katie Richardson, Kevin Gray, Kyle Toy, and Christina Lindmeyer. The officials for tonight's match are registered by the North Dakota High School Activities Association and have been selected for their demonstrated ability to officiate. The officials for tonight's contest are Kobe Pennick and Ann Paul. Line judges are Denny Stinar and Cole Thiebert. We ask for your support of our game officials and respect for the calls of the game. Tonight's medical coverage is provided by Essentia Health, the official sports medicine team for West Fargo Athletics. Your certified athletic trainers are Tessa Martin, Allie Hoffman, and Bruce Mortensen. Thank you to our sports medicine team for keeping our student athletes game ready.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're back at the commentary. The national anthem and starting lineups have been announced. Playoff volleyball action coming your way here shortly. The quarterfinal round, winner will play the winner of the Fargo North and Fargo Davies game that is taking place at Fargo North.
So one thing that Jackson stands out to me as we hear the introduction of the starting lineups, how young this Horace Hawk group is, starting an 8th grader and some freshmen and some sophomores. That's pretty impressive. And, you know, sometimes when kids that young are playing, sometimes they don't know any better than they should be intimidated or they should be the underdog, and they just kind of come out and get after it. So we'll see how Horace responds to kind of the first time in the spotlight playing a team like Sheyenne in the postseason. And for the Mustangs, you know, we're going to see the regular cast of characters, I'm sure, tonight. Those big middle hitters, the outside hitters with the power, and their normal servers.
So Horace is going to kick things off. Number 7, Piper Speakermeyer, is going to kick things off for us. She's one of the freshmen in the starting lineup for the Horace Hawks tonight. And here we go, we're underway, the quarterfinal round. And Chloe Brown's going to get the first kill of the evening.
Brown right away doing her thing from that outside hitter spot, that left hand. And Riley Bogenreef now with the serve for the Mustangs.
So Reagan Bogenreef, first serve of the evening for the Mustangs. And this is where Horace is going to have a tough battle, is winning that battle in the net up close in the middle.
Jackson, we've seen from a handful of teams that have come in here during the regular season, you know, they get down by quite a bit early in the match and have to fight back. And I don't think that's probably something Horace wants to find themselves on that end, because they already are inexperienced. It's their first time through the EDC tournament, and you don't want to find yourself down 10-1, 12-2, something like that, and really dig a big hole in this opening set. Oh, great.
Wow.
Great change of pace there by Bogenreef. Had all of those Horace defenders back, expecting the deep serve, and just lobs one over the net and gets an ace out of that.
It's hit into the net. Oh,
and there's
the
a
Hawks.
double hit.
Yep, double hit. 5-0 start. As you can see, the Mustangs have Brown and Albrecht in the middle there. You got Wasdorp and Bogenreef as your outside hitters. Bogenreef currently serving. And you got Mia Engel there at defensive specialist. She's also the libero tonight. And then Coulter's also in the starting lineup. And another kill by Chloe Brown, her second of the evening.
Boy, Sheyenne is executing incredibly well to start this match, really kind of keeping Horace on their heels, and Horace has only had the one opportunity really for any type of kill, and it was long. There's the first one that they've set up well, but
yeah,
handled by the Mustangs.
It's going to be tough to keep that ball in play. Here's Engel, passes it to Wasdorp. Right to Albrecht, and she puts it away for another kill. And that's going to be a quick timeout there by head coach Hadley Steffen.
Yeah.
The Mustangs have a quick 7-0 lead here in the first set. We'll be back shortly after the commercial break.
Here, when your future lies ahead, we help set you on the right course. When your whole world is about to change, we help you prepare for your new life. When staying healthy means staying informed, we help you find answers. This is perseverance, understanding, connection. These are remarkable people doing remarkable things together.
We're back here coming out of the timeout taken by head coach Hadley Steffen. Hawks in a quick 7-0 hole here, Dan, and you know, we talked about if you're the Horace Hawks, you have to outwork the Mustangs, and right now you're just, I feel like you're giving a lot of easy points, and it's hard. I mean, but you have to defend against the Mustangs' attack as much as you can, and you just have to make the Mustangs earn every point.
Yeah, I think you're right, Jackson, and you know, with such a young team, probably not a bad choice by Coach Steffen here to go ahead and try and get them settled down. It's a big moment for them, and you know, they come out a little sluggish compared to what they might expect. And for Sheyenne, they've just been rolling here. And immediately we're seeing easily the longest rally of the night. Point goes to Sheyenne, but I would think if you're Coach Steffen, you got to be a lot more pleased with that sequence right there than you have seen anything else so far tonight.
Another great serve by Bogenreef. Having a great stretch. Engel is going to pass it back to Bogenreef. Bogenreef will get it over. It's deflected up front at the net. And Horace will return it. Albrecht. And she gets the kill, her third of the evening.
Yeah.
So Albrecht with a third of the Mustangs' points so far, 9-0. And Bogenreef having a great stretch there. 9 straight points as the server. And that's too long, and her streak will end there at 9 straight points. 9-1, Horace is on the board off of the serving error by Bogenreef. Olivia Shook, number 15, is in the game. Number 2, Alyssa Sommerfeld
is serving now.
Brown, that was hit a little behind her, but the Mustangs will get the point.
Looks like a net violation there, as we see Maya Blado, Kelly Dodds entering. Dodds to serve now. Dodds occasionally the libero. Not tonight. That's Mia Engel for the Mustangs.
Deflected up front at the net by Albrecht. Coulter sets it to Brown with the right hand, gets the kill.
A little closer to the net than she was expecting, but good adjustment in the air, switching to the right hand, and same result. 11-1 now Mustangs in this opening set. EDC quarterfinal match.
Brown's already got 3 kills this evening as well. Deflected up front of the net, but that's going to be a kill. It goes out of bounds.
Great job by Sturlucks in there, bringing some of that same power that Cheyenne's delivered to Horace all night.
Now as we see, number 23, Jaden Haley, 6'2". You know, you definitely think that that could help at the net, you know, with those Mustang middle hitters.
Good deep serve by Brianna Heilman there.
See if it gets it over. Oh, yes, gets it over. Great recovery. And just taps it. Oh, great hustle there by Callie Dodds. Brown gets it over. The Horace Hawks keep it alive. Nice rally building up here. This one goes to Haley, the 6'2 sophomore. Oh, what a rally we got going here. Brown sets it to Wasdorp. Deflected at the net. And that's hit too strong, and the rally ends in the Mustangs' favor.
No touch called. So that's going to be a point to the Mustangs. But great rally there, and the type of effort, Jackson, that you referenced in the pregame, that this is what Horace is going to have to do. The problem is, can you keep it up all night with that kind of effort? And really, there's been no holes in the Mustang defense so far. So you're just going to have to keep going with this if you're Horace. Great job by Blado at the net. And that's going to be a carry there. They're going to – the lift called on that one, a little too much hand behind that.
These two teams met once this regular season in a 2-point match. Cheyenne got the sweep at Horace a little over a month ago.
Brooke Johnson unveiling a little jump serve tonight that we've not seen.
Great
block at the net.
Great dig. Mustangs having a lot of hustle plays, keeping that ball off the ground. Blocked at the net again, and it's going to be a net violation. Horace gets the point, 13-3.
That's what you're going to have to do if you're Horace. You're just going to have to stick in every point and not beat yourself. You can really ill afford any kind of unforced errors, and just keep the heat on Cheyenne as long as you can, and maybe that'll give you an opportunity to steal a set somewhere in here and keep yourself in the match. Number 14, Jordan Christofferson, serving for the Hawks.
And that's going to be another point for the Mustangs. Bogenreef with the kill.
Now serving is number 8, Kaylee Wasdorp.
Wasdorp now with the serve, with the Mustangs leading 14-3 here in the opening set.
Back to Wasdorp.
Oh, just
great
clears
dig.
the net, but a great dig. And that one's going to sail wide.
Another point. Too far left for Haley there. (15-3), a lopsided first set so far. That's in the net, 16-3.
I don't know, Jackson. For me, in thinking about all the sets we've seen, the matches we've seen, I think this is as sharp as Cheyenne has been all year. Really, I can only think of Bogenreef's one unforced error on a serve. But other than that, they are making Horace earn every point. And here we have Coach Hadley Steffen taking her second time out, hoping to try and do something to rally her team.
This is a really deep hole to start off the first set. If you take a look at the Western Dakota Association Volleyball Tournament, the matchups taking place, the number one seed Bismarck Century, who was number 1 in the state, as they knocked off West Fargo Cheyenne in that Fargo Jamboree tournament that took place a couple months ago, or excuse me, not a couple months ago, a little over a month ago. Bismarck Century is taking on number 8 Williston. Number 4 Bismarck High is taking on number 5 Bismarck St. Mary's. Number 2 Jamestown is taking on number 7 Minot. And then number 3 Bismarck Legacy is taking on number 6 Dickinson High. Minot beat Mandan in a 5-set play-in match. Williston swept Watford City, and then Dickinson swept Turtle Mountain Community High School in that play-in match. So we'll see how the WDA tournament turns out, and I think there's going to be a lot of interesting matchups at the state tournament this year.
Definitely so. And there we go, another point for the Mustangs. I think, obviously Century is the power out there, but a lot of quality teams out there, a lot of depth. I don't think anyone, that if you're the 1 seed out of the East and you're playing the 4 seed from the West, I don't know that that's necessarily going to be an easy type of matchup as we see Bougainville get down to dig that one out.
We've seen a lot of great hustling plays tonight. And Horace is actually, we've noticed, Horace is making some great digs on their own side of the net, but it's just not going their way right now.
Like I said, this is technically as sound, fundamentally sound as we've seen Cheyenne all year. They are just not doing anything to beat themselves. And they're just keeping the heat on this young Horace squad and making them come, earn every point, every opportunity that they're going to get.
Bougainville, smart move. Blocked at the net again. Dodds gets it over. Johnson to Terhark. Another great rally building up here. Oh. And that's going to be a point for Horace. Too many hits. Bougainville tried to get that over with their left hand, just taps it to her right instead of
getting it over the net. Yeah. And then that was a really good sequence by Horace there. That a lot of opportunities, some kill opportunities for the Mustangs that they were able to dig out each and every time and hang in that point, eventually getting the unforced error from Bougainville.
Bougainville gets it over. And again, and that's into the net, and Bougainville gets the kill there.
I think Bougainville, maybe of all the Mustang players, has the best court awareness, the best vision on the court. She sees openings and soft areas in defense before attempting to make whatever shot she's going to. And there's going to be, that one's going to go back to the Mustangs as well, 21-4. But she sees the court better than anyone else for Cheyenne, in my opinion.
Number 18, Caitlin Grabowska enters for the Hawks.
Angle to Johnson, to Bougainville, blocked at the net, and Horace is going to get that point. No one was on the right side of the court to return that, 21-5.
Number 3, Gabby Sterlickson, and number 5, Lillian Donnelly enter for the Hawks.
Donnelly and Sterlickson back into the game for the Horace Hawks.
Oh.
Hard hit there in the middle by Bougainville. Hardest hit of the night. Too much to return.
Yeah. No regard for anyone on the other side of the net, wearing a black uniform on that one.
And Coulter serving down the stretch here in the first set. Coulter to Brown. Brown gets the kill again. And you're right, Dan. This is looking like one of the most dominating first sets.
Yeah.
If not the most dominant first set the Mustangs have played all year.
They certainly have come to play tonight, and they have no intention of letting their foot off the gas. Now we have seen in earlier matches, if there's one set where Cheyenne maybe gives up, a loose set, it's maybe that second set at times. But the way they're starting out tonight at 24-5 and set point, this is a dominant performance.
We'll see if Coulter can finish it off here. Coulter sets it to Bogan Reef, and she
that's
finishes
that.
it off on the left side with the paints the line with the kill. And the Mustangs take set number 1, 25-5. Boy, that was how
That
you,
was a
that's how you
dominant.
execute right there.
It really is. That was a dominant performance, and not to take anything away from Horace. You know, there were a lot of long rallies. There was a lot of good effort on their part, but I think, you know, the size and the experience of Cheyenne just really coming through in that opening set, and a 25-5 pounding in that first set. Now we'll see how Horace responds here. Coach Stefan going to have an opportunity to visit with her players and maybe get them reorganized, and that fresh start might give them an opportunity to hang into that second set.
We're going to take a short break here, folks. Mustangs took the first set 25-5. We'll be back for set number 2 momentarily.
Here, when your future lies ahead, we help set you on the right course. When your whole world is about to change, we help you prepare for your new life. When staying healthy means staying informed, we help you find answers. This is perseverance, understanding, connection. These are remarkable people doing remarkable things together.
We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Set number 2 about to get underway. Mustang fans, we want to thank Essentia Health for being the proud sponsor of our Mustang media team and this broadcast. Essentia Health, care close to home.
Well, Jackson, I think if you're the number 1 seed, this is exactly how you plan this. This is how you come out to play. You are ready from the bell, from the opening bell, and you just get after it, and you keep that pressure on that lower seed. Now, Horace, here's an opportunity to grow from this, to respond. Yeah, it's a young team, but I don't think Coach Hadley Steffen has any fewer expectations for her girls. There's certainly nothing wrong with losing a match, but she wants to make sure that her team shows up, and so we'll see how this second set plays out here, as Kennedy Coulter is going to start off the serving for the Mustangs.
This one goes to Terhark, hits it with 2 hands.
Good job finding that soft spot in the back corner. Good attempt at a dig by Horace, but unable to keep the ball alive, keep the rally going, and a quick 1-0 lead for the Mustangs. I think the thing for Horace, you can't afford to go down 7-0 again, or 9-0 or anything like that. You have to kind of be in this one from the beginning.
Yeah,
and there Albrecht just blocks that one.
And in matches, you know, all season that are played to 25, Dan, 5 points that those 5 points that the Mustangs let up, just those only 5 points, is tied for the lowest this season. They had a set against Valley City where they only gave up 5 points. So you said it correctly. I mean, just the defense is just perfect in that first set for the Mustangs.
Really, just a couple of unforced errors, a couple of mistakes by Sheyenne, but otherwise they were just so rock solid defensively and taking advantage of their kill opportunities.
And it's 3-0 already here to start set number 2. That's into the net. It's 4-0.
Yeah. Sturlogson just didn't get that one up above the net, and it's got to be intimidating if you're an opponent against Mustang and against the Mustangs and see the size of those blockers at the net. But got to find a way to keep that ball in play and see if you can force Sheyenne into some mistakes. As again, Bogenreef, she sees the floor so well. She sees where those openings are and adjusts accordingly. We know she can drop the hammer whenever she wants, but she also sees those soft spots in defenses so well.
Yeah, that's good to see. She doesn't try to hit it as hard as she can all the time.
No.
She makes the necessary play.
As Albrecht.
Another one in the middle there. Albrecht's just, all season long, just seems like she's hitting down on someone. Yeah. And Albrecht is only a junior, so the Mustangs will have her for another year.
We've said a senior-heavy squad for the Mustangs, but they do have a few juniors, and we also noted that this is a very young team for Sheyenne or for Horace. Their first year of varsity competition in the EDC, and certainly have handled themselves very well. But down 6-1 here in set 2 of this quarterfinal match. That was Sommerfeld with the serve.
Terhardt gets the kill on the outside. Yeah, the 8 seniors on this Mustang squad are Coulter, Brown, Megan Johnson, Kaylee Wasdorp, Brooke Johnson, Reagan Bogenreef, Lexi Terhardt, and Callie Dodds.
All significant contributors.
Yes.
So it was Bogenreef serving in the first match that led to the big run of points by the Mustangs. We'll see if she can match that again. As
Albrecht is having a night at middle hitter there. Just so dominant in the middle around the net. 8-1 now.
You know, we see a lot of those balls at the net that those middle hitters win, but you know, a lot more opportunities for kills here tonight for the Mustangs in the middle. Not just those blocks that they do so well.
And that just makes it hard to get kills of your own if you're Horace, because you're not hitting down on anyone. You're trying to get it over someone.
Oh, good reaction.
Oh, that was by Coulter there with the dig. And Bogenreef gets it over. This is as sharp as we've seen the Mustang defense all year long. And Coulter just doing that fake and just tapping it over.
Really kind of keeping Horace guessing.
Making it look like she was going to set it to someone and then just boop, taps it over.
Just barely long. 9-1 though. Mustangs lead this opening or second set, I should say.
Now serving is number 6, Brianna Heilman.
Heilman on the serve for the Hawks.
Too long.
Service out, point Mustangs.
Can't afford that. Going to have to make sure that you take advantage of every opportunity that you get, as we see Dodds in now to serve.
Maya Bladel also back into the game, and she's only a sophomore, so the Mustangs will have her for the next 2 years, and she certainly contributed this year, but she also will tremendously the next 2 years.
Wasdorp.
Great hustle.
Really good effort there by Hale there to try and keep that alive, but just unable to. And now 11-2 lead for the Mustangs here in set number 2. Looks like a net violation by the Mustangs there. Kind of a awkward sequence there. Everyone looking to try and set something up, but hitting it over the net and kind of throwing the opponents off guard a little bit there.
Hard hit there by Lexi Terhark.
And I think something that probably should be mentioned, Jackson, is these sets have been really good. They've, for the most part, given the Mustangs the opportunity to be hitting down on that ball, coming in and timing it just right and giving the Mustangs the opportunity to go for those big kills as Brooke Johnson gets an ace there. Coach Steffen still hasn't called timeout in set 2 here, maybe letting her young team try and work their way through this to figure some things out.
Mustangs have currently outscored the Hawks 38-8 tonight. Going into this next serve here. 14-3 now. It's set number 2.
And there's the timeout.
There's the timeout by head coach Hadley Steffen there for the Horace Hawks. Mustangs lead set number 2, 14-3. We'll be right back.
Here, when your future lies ahead, we help set you on the right course. When your whole world is about to change, we help you prepare for your new life. When staying healthy means staying informed, we help you find answers. This is perseverance, understanding, connection. These are remarkable people doing remarkable things together.
We're back after the timeout. 14-3, another lopsided set so far, Dan. And man, the defense, the sharpness of the defense is just continuing for the Mustangs right now.
Yeah, Cheyenne's just playing so well, such a high level, and they've kept it up. You know, lots of times it's not uncommon for a team that starts so well to, you know, there's a let off, maybe get a little loose with some things, but Sheyenne is razor sharp tonight as they keep applying the heat to Horace here, as the Horace fans up and clapping, trying to get their team to rally here, try and get back into this second set and see if they can even the match up.
Johnson to Brown. Brown gets the kill.
Really, that right side has been pretty good all night. There hasn't been, I think, a kill opportunity from the right side of the outside hitter spot for the Mustangs that they haven't converted on all night.
Johnson.
That quick.
Oh, gets a nut. Does the Kennedy
That
Coulter
quick tip
fake there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Quick tip gets it over. Horace gets a piece of it, but then the ball falls harmlessly in the court.
It's crazy how Kennedy Coulter, though, is so good at that. I mean, she's done that multiple times this year, and then Brooke Johnson does that herself. I mean, just that can throw a lot of teams off. That fake send, just, you know, a quick hit over the net. Gives everyone, you know, you make everyone think to prepare for the hits that's coming from maybe Bogenreef or Wasdorp. And they don't expect that fake.
Wasdorp hits that one into the net after the dig and setting it up. That was a long bump set there, just not able to convert. So here's a chance for Horace to claw their way back in here, down 16-4, see if they can string a few points together and get back in this set. And
Brown,
Brown
that's not
painting the line. Great set by Johnson.
Entering for Horace is number 2, Alyssa Sarfeld.
Brown just dropping the hammer tonight.
Yeah, she has.
Now serving is number 8, Kaylee Wasdorp.
Wasdorp gets the ace, just hits the net. Got a little lucky there.
It's one of those where you almost want to apologize for getting that point, but it's a point that counts regardless for Wasdorp. Mishandled there by Heilman, I think. No, I'm sorry, that was Reese Ulmer. That ball got in on her a little quickly and she wasn't able to handle. 19-4 now to the Mustangs.
Hit too strong, and it's 20-4, a score we saw in the first set.
Good power there by Livingston, just too much on it. Sails long and 20-4. Just long.
Looked like it was about to paint the line there and be another ace there for Wasdorf, but just a tad too long.
Line judge determines it's long. Lila Donnelly on now to serve for Horace. That one sails long.
Oh, just a bit long there by Kaloran. Kaloran's hits blocked at the net.
So a little life for the Hawks here. 20-7, still a big deficit, but maybe feel like they're executing a little better and getting the looks that they want at the net.
Oh,
And a couple unforced errors here by the Mustangs.
That's 3 points in a row by the Hawks. Or excuse me, 4 points in a row actually. It was 20-4. Now it's 20-8. Brown gets it right back.
Go
for the
back
Mustangs.
to the
Oh
old
my
reliable
goodness.
outside hitter and Chloe Brown. She has been a dominant force tonight. My angle back on to serve.
Blocked at the net again. Brown gets it over, and she gets another one. And she's certainly leading the Mustangs, actually the match, I should say, in the kills category this evening. 22-8. Ooh.
Nice job there. Great job by Sturlogson.
Wasdorf
She unloaded on that, and Wasdorf, good attempt at the dig, but just could not come up with it. Speakermeyer on to serve. Oh.
Kaloran with the hit, blocked at the net. Kaloran tries to keep it in the air, but couldn't do so. Tungset and Kaloran both tried to keep that off the ground. 22-10, so Horace is in double digits now here in the second set in terms of points. Got a little behind Tungset there.
Yeah.
Mistimed that set by Johnson.
You know, and I like that Coach Newton getting Kaloran, Tungseth on the floor. You know, they don't get to maybe see as much time. They're not part of that regular rotation, and nice to see them getting an opportunity to play in the EDC tournament here. But I think then that leads to, you know, some continuity issues, some people that you rely on, and you know almost what position that player is going to be in, and when it's players that you don't often play with, then there's a little bit of communication issues. But Mustangs still up by 10.
Speakermeyer with the ace on that last serve.
And Chloe
There's
Brown.
a kill again by Brown.
When they've gotten it to her, there's not been an issue. So it looks like
She's having a
Coulter and
brilliant-
Terhark back in.
brilliant game here. Chloe Brown. And Coulter serving down the stretch here in the second set.
Great dig
Oh, great
by
dig
Coulter.
Yeah. Coulter to Kaloran. Blocked at the net, and Seems like Caloran's hits there on the out. She's one of the taller players on this floor right now, but Caloran's hits are getting blocked at the net.
Well, that one, she was coming from so deep she
yep,
didn't have a chance to wind up on that, and so a little tip. And again, that size, Horace does have a little more size than some of the other teams in the EDC. And they're able to do something with that one. As we see Wasdorf unload on one from the back.
Wow.
Set point, Mustangs up 24-13.
All right, let's see if Kaloran can put things away here in set number 2. Kaloran with the dig there, angle to Wasdorp. The Hawks keep it alive. To Wasdorf, that was hit super hard, and the Mustangs finish off set number 2 with another hard kill, 25-13 this time. And, you know, defense may have not been as sharp there. A couple unforced errors, as you said, Dan, in set number 2 there. But, hey, they took set number 2, and now it's 2-0.
Yeah,
you know,
really keeping the heat on Horace. And, you know, Horace is battling. They're doing what they can. But a young team, less experience, doesn't have that senior leadership. And maybe just not the athletes that Sheyenne does right now. And we see a quick 2-0 lead here in the quarterfinals of the EDC tournament.
And this is something that the Mustangs have been very good at. You know, once they get up 2-0, they don't really let teams come back and tie it up 2-2.
That's absolutely right. Well, we'll be right back after the break for set number 3. The Mustangs leading the Hawks 2-0.
Our health. It's what keeps us doing what we love. It keeps our communities strong. So, how are you doing? There's no easier way to take care of yourself than checking in with us, your primary care team at Essentia Health. In person or online, we offer scheduling and appointment options that fit your life. We'll care for you today and keep an eye on things for the future. And if needed, get you back on track. So take some time to connect with us, because it's always good to check in.
Mustang fans, we're back for set number 3. The Mustangs looking to get another sweep here. Mustang fans, we want to recognize one of our sponsors, Belbank Mortgage. Belbank Mortgage is proud to support the West Fargo Sheyenne Mustangs. Rates are great, so if you're considering moving up or maybe even becoming a homeowner for the first time, talk to the experts at Bell. We'll make your home happen. Belbank Mortgage, equal housing lender. Go Mustangs. And another sweep here, or another opportunity to get another sweep here, Dan, for the Mustangs. And just in a match where they have just been so sharp tonight, especially in that first set where it was 25-5.
Yeah.
And then a few more unforced errors there in set number 2, but they took set number 2 25-13. So that was a very big margin once again. So we'll see what set number 3 looks like.
And I think it will be interesting to see if Sheyenne jumps out to a lead the way they have in the opening sets. You know, we'll see if Coach Newton gives some of her younger players, the JV squad that doesn't see the floor as often for varsity, a little taste of EDC tournament action. I don't think that's ever a bad idea when you have that opportunity. Again, we've talked about you never know when you might need to call on one of those players to step up in a big situation, as Albrecht just sails that one long. It looks like they thought there was a touch there. Albrecht can't believe it, but you know, I think you never know when you need those players to step up. And they're all going to be seniors one day, and you're going to need them. You don't want their first experience of EDC tournament play to be in that opening match as Brown evens the score 1-1.
And her great performance continues there.
Well, if nothing else, Jackson, we can say that the Hawks have led a couple of times tonight at 1-0 and 2-1 here in set number 3. Sommerfeld on the serve for the Hawks. Up 2-1 here in set 3, early action.
Tipped around at the net. Angled back to Wasdorp. And Wasdorp too long on that.
One just long as well. Whoa. Oh, Bogenreef looked like, how did that happen? But a quick 4-1 lead for the Hawks here.
Sommerfeld with an ace there. This is the first time this evening the Mustangs have been behind.
And there, Chloe Brown again. Every time they need to stop the scoring from Horace, at least here in set 3, they've relied on Chloe Brown, and Chloe Brown is having herself a night.
You can see that former Mustang Jaden Feist is in attendance this evening, talking with Coach Noon there in the corner on the Mustang side of the court. And Jaden Feist was a tremendous volleyball and basketball player here for West Fargo Cheyenne.
Absolutely. Oh, there we go. Wasdorp drops the hammer up the line. Cheyenne's digging into the Hawk lead here a little bit. 4-3 now. Hawks leading in set 3.
Brown with the great hustle there on that play. Man, the Hawks having a bright third
and they're
set
going to
here.
say that was touched by the
Wait,
Hawks.
it switched
Horace,
up the call.
yeah, Horace initially celebrating there, but Coach Stefan questioning that, but ultimately the refs are saying that the ball was touched by Horace. So that evens the score at 4 apiece here in set number 3. Refs are going to maybe have a quick discussion, see if they're all on the same page with this. See if any of them can confirm that the ball was touched or was not touched. Little mini.
And Cheyenne
And
is going to get the
call
point.
stands.
So it's 4-4 after it was 4-1 not too long ago. Just a moment ago, Horace had a early 3-point lead, and now it's tied up again.
Coach Stefan looking for an explanation. Looks like she's not buying what the ref is selling, but I think the call's going to stand, and we're going to keep going here at 4-4. Dodd serving for the Mustangs. Good job by Christofferson to get it over, but hit into the net by the Mustangs. Point Horace.
Hit backwards up into the ceiling, and it came back down at a bad angle. The Mustangs couldn't adjust, so that's an ace.
Good serve there by Heilman. A lot of pace on that one.
It's 6-4. Johnson keeps it in play. Brown gets it over. Great dig. Brown, it's tipped at the net, but she does get the kill. And another kill for Chloe Brown.
2, Kennedy Coulter now serving.
Hard to tell if that was blocked or just into the net there. I think looks like maybe Blado or Terhart got a piece of that one at 6-6 now. Great serve by Coulter. Horace does a nice job keeping that alive, getting it back over the net. And Wasdorf drops the hammer.
And Mustangs have the lead for the first time here in this third set, 7-6. Coulter sets it to Terhart, and Terhart's too far left on that. 7 apiece.
Just wide, so, you know, probably for Horace, wishing this this set would have been how the opening set went, as they're hanging definitely in this one and keeping a lot of pressure on Sheyenne as that one is served wide. But unfortunately, they came out and maybe a little awestruck by the moment and the event and that sort of thing. But you can see certainly why Horace was able to be in this position by the way they were playing in set number 3.
Coulter to Bogenreef. Too strong.
That one's going to be long.
No touch, point Mustangs.
Oh, great
dig.
hustle there by Callie Dodds. What a dig. Nice rally here building up. Coulter does her fake set and taps it over for another kill.
Catches the Horace team looking for that set and where that kill was going to come from, and just taps it into the open area on the floor. Now Sheyenne with a 10-7 lead here in set 3.
Coulter
Quick
sets it
set to Blado.
Oh,
Quick set, and Blado puts that one away. So Sheyenne stealing a little of this momentum that Horace had built up early in the set. There's an ace.
the Mustangs have outscored the Hawks 11-3 since that 4-1 lead the Hawks had earlier in the set. Another kill there.
At
in the middle.
13-7, we'll see how long, if Coach Steffen's going to go to another timeout here and see if they can get back into this one. Nothing yet, but Wasdorf's been on a run here. Now putting the Mustangs up 13-7. A little adjusting there from Coach Steffen, getting her players where she wants them. There's another ace.
Wasdorf with 2 aces in the last 3 points.
And Cheyenne's doubled up Horace here in set 3, 14-7.
Oh, nice kill there.
There we go. Great
Livingston.
job by the junior.
That was athletic too.
Yeah, that was a great move and just too much on that for the Mustangs to handle. We're now going to see Sommerfeld with the serve for Horace.
Coulter's going to set. Oh, tried to set it to Bogenreef, and that's going to be out. Went over the net mistakenly. 14-9.
Oh, good reaction there by Wasdorp, and Bogenreef turns a potential point for Horace into a point for Sheyenne. Mia Engel in to serve. And also Izzy Albrecht back onto the floor for the Mustangs.
Hitting the net there. Oof.
Caught too much of the tape and just couldn't make its way over. Sterwickson in. And Donnelly on the serve, the 5'6" freshman.
Coulter passes it backwards to Terhark, and
she
Terhark
manages to make a point out of that. Stays off the net. And Cheyenne gets a point out of that, as we're going to see Brooke Johnson on to serve.
The winner of this game will play at 4 o'clock on Friday, while the loser of this game will play at 12 o'clock on Friday at West Fargo High, as that's where the second and third round matches are taking place in this tournament. In the two state qualifier games and the EDC Championship will take place on Saturday. The two state qualifier games will take place at 11 and 1, and then the EDC Championship will take place at 3 o'clock.
Great job by Brooke Johnson on her serving here, just clearing the net. A lot of movement on those serves, and Horace having a little difficulty handling those right now. 18-10, Mustangs lead in set 3.
Another great kill there in the middle. Hey,
tipped at the net, but unable to be dug out by the Mustangs.
That was Hale with the kill. The 6'2" sophomore.
Good dig there by Sommerfeld. Handled by Wasdorp and just too close to the net. Brooke Johnson went to try and get that one, just could not keep it alive. 18-12 now.
Certainly has been the best set of the evening for the Horace Hawks.
Oh, certainly.
And that's good to see. You know, if you're head coach Hadley Steffen, you have to be, that's good to see.
Oh, absolutely. You know, going into this as an 8 seed against an undefeated EDC champion, you know, you're probably not expecting to come in here and win, but what you certainly want to do is have your team show up and show that they've got some fight, and Horace has certainly shown us that in this third set. I think that first set got on top of them so quickly, and not much they could do about that, but they're hanging tough here in the third set, making Cheyenne work for everything that they've gotten. And there's a good save.
The Mustangs keep it alive.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Ref on the far side is
that
going to.
Wow, that certainly looked like that was kept off the ground.
Yeah, it looks like maybe they touched the ground.
And Mia Engel was confused about that. Man, that was really impressive.
Looked to be good from up here, but right in front of the ref. She makes the call. Oh. Not sure what the call was there.
And Payne Saxon.
Yeah, nice job by the eighth grader finding that soft spot in the D. Too much to handle for Horace. And again, some of these players that don't see all that much time on varsity, Coach Newton working them in slowly through the rotation, giving them a chance to experience an opening round EDC matchup as the Mustangs lead 20-13 and Dodds on to serve. That one's going to sail long on Sturlugson.
So 21-13. Mustangs 4 points away from another sweep to kick off their playoff run here for 2022. Great hustle there by Bogenreef. The Mustangs do get it over. Blocked at the net to Saxland. Bogenreef pushes it over. And that's in the net. The Mustangs win the rally.
Really good rally there by both squads, keeping that alive. Great job by Bogenreef coming from the back row and keeping the point alive.
Great dig there by Bogenreef.
And that one just falls over the net.
And she does.
Opportunity for Christofferson and unable to return it and keep it alive. Now 23-13 here in the third set as Cheyenne's closing in on the sweep for the evening.
Oh, hit in the net there by Saxland. So the Hawks improved once again this semi, and they got 14 points now. So, I mean, that's good to see if you're the Hawks.
Well,
you improved throughout each set.
I think so. You know, we talked about how young this team is and how much experience Cheyenne has as Bogenreef sails that one wide. You know, again, you know, you never come into any type of match or contest thinking that you don't have a chance to win, but, you know, the odds were certainly stacked against Horace tonight. But I think this is a great learning opportunity for this team and a way to improve themselves. And they now see, you know, kind of where that standard is, what you have to do to be one of those top teams in the EDC. And if you have a legitimate desire to try and win an EDC championship and compete for a state championship, you know, Horace is getting a taste of that tonight. But certainly Horace has nothing to hang their heads about as they've given a good effort there the entire night. Good dig there by Dodds.
Absolutely.
And Saxland finishes
how
it
about
off,
that?
the 8th grader.
Payne Saxland finishes it off for the Mustangs to complete the sweep. 25-5, 25-13, and 25-15. And, you know, the Mustangs may not have looked as sharp in those second and third sets as they did in the first set, but W's a W, and they certainly overall played well tonight, both offensively and defensively.
They really did. And you know, I think a little bit of those errors that happened in the second and third sets could be attributed a little bit to some of those players that aren't in a normal rotation and kind of trying to work with those people. But certainly when the top lines were on the floor, when those rotations were going, that was as sharp as we've seen Cheyenne all year. And if they bring that, you know, we always talk about in any sport, you want to be playing your best at tournament time. And I think that was the best we've seen Cheyenne play all year. Certainly through the first set and probably the first half of the second set. If Cheyenne plays like this, they have a legitimate chance to win an EDC championship and a legitimate chance to try and win a state championship.
Absolutely. I mean, head coach Leah Noon didn't have much to say in that huddle. She looked very impressed and, you know, told her girls, "Hey, you guys just did a really good job tonight." No other words can be said. Just sharp on both, you know, offensively and defensively.
They came out ready to play tonight, and they did. You know, we talked about doing the things that you always do. There's not necessarily a need to change up or try to do something different, especially when you're the 1 seed. And this team just came out and executed. And again, not to take anything away from Horace, it's a young team. You certainly can see the potential that the Horace squad has. and you give them a year or two of experience of getting through the EDC and figuring out what it takes to compete at a high level. And I think this is a team from Horace that could have a chance in a couple of years to be one of those top-tier teams.
Well, certainly. I mean, it only took Sheyenne a few years before their athletics really got good
Yep.
all around. So the same thing is
yeah,
a
Horace
possibility
is just
for Horace.
starting out. You know, you're going to take some bumps and bruises as you're going through, but you know, great job by Coach Steffen and her squad tonight. No shame in losing 3-0 to the number 1 seed. But really, wow, that was impressive, especially early on for Sheyenne. They came out and made a statement and said, this is what you have to do to try and beat us. And they kept the pressure on. You know, Chloe Brown, we saw her time and time again from that outside hitter position. She was dominant. Bogenreef and Coulter stood out tonight. Really just a great team effort. Izzy Albrecht in the middle up front, especially early on in this match, really did a great job. So, you know, both teams now with an opportunity going forward to, you know, try and make their mark. For Horace, you know, you're on the loser's side. It's kind of a do-or-die situation, but you keep playing hard, and hopefully you get to a play-in game. And when those play-in games happen, anything can happen. And for Sheyenne, I would guess they would tell you they won't be pleased unless they bring home, you know, the regular season EDC championship is great to have, but you want hardware, and that's certainly what Sheyenne is going to be looking for, is to win the EDC tournament.
Yeah, they're 30-2, and the best thing you could do is top it off with a conference tournament title and hopefully a state tournament title.
And be that 1 seed going in and really, you know, take care of business on your end and give yourself a chance.
I mean, yeah, this season has just been extraordinary. And, 30-2, that's just, you know, exceptional. That's like almost Bismarck Century-like.
Well, and that's the same record, I think, that both squads have. So not many teams are able to execute the way and put up those kind of records the way Century seems to do year in and year out in volleyball. And so for Sheyenne, you know, just incredible from the beginning of the season onward.
Well, yeah. I mean, in Century, they've gotten to the state championship literally 10 years in a row. Like, just getting there. I mean, taking first or second, you know, 10 years in a row is just incredible. I mean, that's hard to do. You don't see that whether it's volleyball, basketball, or football. I mean,
no, really, you know, the old adage of they don't rebuild, they just reload, and that seems to be very true for Century. But you know, they're going to have to earn that, and obviously just through the WDA tournament. But you know, this is a team in Sheyenne that's beaten them this year, and so, you know, both squads, both Sheyenne and Century, know that they were 1-1 against each other. Each one knows that they can win, but it's probably going to take your best game, your best effort, your best match to do that. And I think, Jackson, then, you know, the other wild card as we move into this weekend is a possible winter storm, with the chances that that disrupt the scheduled play-in matches and those sorts of things. So if you're a volleyball fan and planning to head up to West Fargo High to watch the continuing action, make sure you keep an eye on the announcements to see if the weather indeed has any impact on the schedule.
Well, that also accounts for the state meet for girls swimming.
Yeah,
they might bump that up so the teams from the West can come in Wednesday night, and so they can get that out of the way. Yeah, I believe it's 55 mile per hour winds with 6 to 12 inches
6 to
of
12
snow.
inches. You know it's going to happen somewhere, but where will it be? Will it be here in the Red River Valley or somewhere in another part of the state?
Boy, that's North Dakota weather for you.
Yeah, that's depressing when it's not even mid-November and we're getting those types of storms already.
Well, at least we made it this far without snow. I mean,
this is
we
true.
had a pretty nice fall.
We did.
We were able to go through October and, you know, first 2 days in November. It's just.
Yeah, and even that playoff football game, I mean, the high was in the 50s that day.
Oh, yeah,
and there's a lot
gorgeous.
of times those playoff games are being played and it's 20 degrees out. So any fall athlete who plays outdoors should be very pleased with what they had to work with this year.
Well, that's going to do it for tonight's broadcast. Ladies and gentlemen, the Mustangs get the sweep over West Fargo Horace. They move on to the EDC semifinal round. They'll look to punch their ticket to state in the next game and hopefully take the EDC Conference Tournament title and the EDC Championship if they happen to get there. And Horace has to win their next 2 now if they want to have a shot at the state tournament. And that's going to be a tough task, but, anything can happen in the EDC tournament. And it's just going to be exciting how this tournament finishes off and, how the rest of the postseason will play out once we get to the state tournament from November 17th to November 19th out in Bismarck. And
that's right. You're absolutely right, Jackson. Anything can happen, and a little bittersweet. This will probably be our last broadcast together for a while, as this should wrap up our broadcast season for the fall. And when the winter sports kick in, boys hockey, girls and boys basketball, Jackson will have his nights tied up by basketball. So be looking for, unfortunately, you'll have to probably still listen to me, but maybe a rotating list of commentators that we'll get in here for you, but we'll do our best to bring you as much Sheyenne Mustang action as we can throughout the winter season.
Yeah, and speaking of which, we might actually be able to call the EDC Championship if the Mustangs do get there on Saturday at West Fargo High. So make sure you subscribe and hit the bell so you can get notifications on when we go live here on YouTube. Also, check out our social media pages run by Riley Rahr on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. So for Jackson Miller,
I'm Dan Wolf.
Mustang Nation, we'll see you guys later. We'll hopefully be able to broadcast on Saturday. If not, the winter season will be right around the corner here, and we'll broadcast hockey games, basketball games, wrestling games for you. I'll be playing in basketball, but we'll have a bunch of stuff provided for you guys, and we just thank you guys for the support and watching all these streams. We're happy to do it, and this has just been a pleasurable experience with you, Dan. So thank you very much for coming up here and calling the games with me. It's been awesome.
My pleasure. Thank you, sir.
Mustang Nation, we'll see you guys later, and we'll see you guys on the next broadcast. Take care.